Positive and negative effects of daydreams on humans. The dark side of daydreaming. Daydreaming can become a phenomenon or behavior that is harmful to the normal and stable functioning of an individual's life if it is used excessively and continuously. The dark side of daydreaming appears when the individual is immersed in these dreams while performing his various tasks, or during the learning process, which leads to a loss of focus and poor attention, and thus the loss of important information and instructions, and thus the overlap that occurs between daydreaming. However, the content of your thoughts may be the decisive factor in determining whether daydreaming is adaptive or unable to adapt, as uncontrolled daydreams such as anxiety, mania or stress are harmful to mental health. The job performed by the individual may lead to a low level of personal achievement, as the harm to living in daydreaming on mental health is demonstrated by dealing with negative ideas that are not very significant, which may make the individual tend to commit suicide. Do daydreams cause a lack of concentration? Much research has shown that childhood imagination and fantasy can be linked to creativity in younger age or adulthood, but a lot of research has focused on the effects of daydreaming, from impeding work productivity to overwhelming feelings of thinking by moving away from real life. The role of daydreaming in improving mental health may not come to our minds due to the stereotype associated with it since our childhood, especially school days, as daydreaming was linked to negative connotations, when it was necessary to pay attention to the professor's explanation and take a great deal of information without straying. But the good news is that many researchers agree today that daydreaming can have significant benefits for mental health. Using daydreaming to motivate you to achieve goals. Benefits of daydreaming. Daydream benefits can be described more clearly than harms. When using it at the appropriate times for it, its benefits are clear to its owner when returning from work or from school, and when going into these dreams. This will accrue to the individual with many benefits such as reducing stress and tension and forgetting negative events and experiences, in addition to many other benefits, including training the brain in complex thinking processes such as remembering the past and predicting the future. Daydreaming is mainly related to the flexible physical formation of the brain, which allows the continuous change of nerve pathways. Daydreams make the individual more creative, sympathetic, open and receptive to others, in addition to sensing love and communicating with close people. Why daydreaming is good for you. Daydreams not only develop the ability to create interesting stories, but also our mental capabilities and the flexibility of thinking, and there are many benefits, which you may not know that daydream provides you with. Daydreaming makes you more sympathetic. Your mind focuses on either analysis or empathy, depending on the situation. The analysis will help you get the job done, and empathy will help you deal with people. This is not surprising, and when you constantly think about different scenarios and try to solve the complex problems in your head, you will necessarily feel that you are more relevant and more sympathetic to those around you. Daydreaming makes you a logical thinker. Do not be surprised, as it is closely related to reading. Those who read books rarely are less susceptible to the thirst of knowledge and also have the imaginative power that nurtures daydreams, while those who read it exerts its imagination to wrestle with the mind with these ideas and improve itself, especially when reading science fiction books, because these books make you think about the future and how to improve society at the present time. In other words, pushing you to a situation of positive dissatisfaction positively, to find ways to improve your life at least, and this explains the role of daydreaming in problem solving. Daydreaming is the best way to overcome boredom. Daydreams come in large part from the fairy tales that we read and the imagination that these stories reinforce, so you can make any boring task more enjoyable by imagining that you will finish it so well. You can also do this while washing dishes, for example, or taking care of your difficult child, by turning his problems into ways to play with him and trying to turn the negatives of his behavior into positivity. Daydreaming enhances your aspirations. Daydreaming is closely related to fiction if you have a strong imagination and big dreams. It makes sense that you are somewhat unhappy, perhaps because you are dissatisfied, whether with society or because of your life in one way or another. It does have benefits, like if you can recognize a problem during a daydream, you can address it when your mind focuses. Because those who dream of virtuous societies all the time are likely to suffer about the imagined future, more than those who are completely satisfied with what they have. Daydreaming can improve your memory, at least when it comes to broad concepts or ideas. The relationship is clear between mind wandering and memory preservation. Imagining historical figures that you have read about, for example, helps you remember information, and your mind works to consolidate memories in a state of rest. Taking information and memorizing it through daydreams seems to be a great way to absorb many of it.